Okay, we're going to take a look at the natural base called the Euler number. Isn't that a goofy way to pronounce that word? Euler. Okay, I always wanted to call it Euler because I'm such a German background person, but it's Euler. Might as well get used to saying it. Euler is an irrational number. It is 2.718281828, and it keeps going, but it starts changing. So it looks like it's the same, but it actually starts to change later. It looks more like a pattern than pi does, but it doesn't. Okay, E is the number 1 plus 1 over n raised to the n. So if n is just 2, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That'd be 3 halves squared, that'd be 9 fourths. But when you start making n big, like 100 or 1,000, this starts getting closer and closer to what they call E, Euler's number. It's irrational. All right. Simplify. The rules for powers work the same. If you see x to the third times x to the fifth, you know the rules for exponents. This will just add the exponents, e to the eighth. Okay? Simplifying, many of you are going to say, well, it's no different than if it's a variable. You're right. It is no different than if it was a variable. 12 over 4 will simplify. E to the 7th divided by e to the 4th. You subtract your exponents. I didn't mean to have so many 3's in that, but that's what we have. Simplifying is not any different. Okay? What's going to kind of mess with your mind a little bit is when we go to graph it, because you think, well, this is a variable. No, it's not a variable. It's about 2.7. Okay? If you want, think of it as being 3. So when you make your chart, anything to the 0 is 1. Anything to the 1 is itself. Sorry, that was my finger drag. Okay. To the negative 1 is the reciprocal. So it's about 1/3 or so. And so on. It's going to take off and it's going to be an exponential growth function, much like 3 to the x. Okay. The domain. X is any real number. That's your domain because it doesn't matter what you put in for x. Your range, okay? Y has to be greater than, not or equal, has to be greater than 0. Because no matter what, you'll never get negative. You cannot raise a positive number to a power to make it 0 or negative. Alrighty, next one. Okay, what does that constant 3 do? It's the same as before. That is going to make your graph have a vertical stretch. Okay? So if you were going to make the t-chart again, anything to the 0 is 1, but you got 3 times 1. So it's going to start at 3. For the 1, you're going to have 3 times e, so it's approximately 8 or 9. Okay? For a negative 1, it's e times 1 over e, 3 times 1 over e. So that's really close to 1. And it's going to just give it that vertical stretch. Okay? Jump. Whoa, big jump. Okay? So this moves it up 4. This flips it over. Okay? Negative exponent makes it look like exponential decay. And the 0.75 does what? It changes your exponent. Okay? Your exponent is changing slower. Okay? So we're up here at positive 4, but it flips it over and it makes an exponential decay. Anything to the 0 is 1, so 4 minus 1 is 3, and it's going to look like this. And again, if you want more accuracy than that, grab a graphing utility or use Desmos. I want you to be thinking about what it does. All right, now this time, What does the 2 do? What does the negative do? Okay. Think of this as being the opposite of x minus 2. So this should move it right 2. And the e, or the negative, excuse me, makes it look like decay. So instead of looking like this, it's going to go right to and be decay. So I think it's going to look like that. So if we put 2 in for x, we got e to the 0. If we put 1 in for x, we have e. If we put 3 in for x, we have e to the negative 1. It's going to look like this. Okay, so just kind of analyze what's happening to your exponents, and you'll be able to go. Okay, annual sales of a certain product can be modeled by the function S, sales, equals 60,000 times e to the negative 0.15 t. Okay, so all the hard work has been done for you. S is the number of units sold. T is the time in years since the product went on the market. So if we're going to graph this, anything to the 0 is 1. This is starting at 60,000. Okay? And since you have a negative exponent, it's going to be decay, but it's not decaying very fast. Right? So we graph it, it's going to look something like that. And if we're going to estimate the annual sales 6 years after, all we want to do is put 6 in for t. E to the negative 0.15 times 6. All right, I'm going to pause it and find that. All right, when I did the e to that power, I got 0.40656, so 407. When I took it times the 60,000, I got 24,394. So we'll use Mrs. Eichhorst's perfect rounding system. And the estimate for my annual sales would be down to 24,400. Okay. Years ago, I had a friend from Australia, and he thought my husband and I should start raising ostriches. And I said, no, yes, they're high right now, but I was taught to buy low and sell high. So we bought sheep, and we did pretty well with sheep. The market fell out of the ostrich industry back then. So it was the right decision at the time. Okay, continuous compound interest is something I wish more banks would use because it's easy. Look how nice of a little formula that is. We call it PERT. Okay, P stands for the principal. How much is invested? E is your base. That's that irrational number. R is your rate. Make sure you put it into decimal. Put it into decimal form correctly. And T, of course, is your time in years. Okay, so if it's 6 years, 6 months, you've got to put 6.5. 6 months is half a year. Okay, so it's compounded every minute of every day. But we know that they aren't going to count the minutes you put it in. You know, they're going to round it to the nearest whatever. Probably day, but that's what they could do. Okay, so if you deposit $3,000, there's your P, into a CD that pays an annual 3.5% annual interest rate, there's your rate, compounded continuously. Now, what's the balance after 4 years? So the amount you have would be 3,000 times e to the 0.035 times 4. Now be careful when you put this into your calculator. Again, I'm going to grab mine and do this, and you try yours. We'll see if we get. Okay, after putting that into my calculator, I have $3,450.82. Okay, so let's compare it to the annual interest if it's compounded annually. Okay, so do you know how that works? Okay. The amount is, how do we do that? Principal 1 plus rate raised to the n, or t, right? Number of years. Okay, so you can look it up. So this will be 3,000. 1 plus 0.035 raised to the 4. Okay, 3,000 times, parentheses, 1 plus 0.035, which I probably would not have had to do in parentheses. I got 3,442.56. Okay. So yeah, it's only $8, $7 difference. But look how close it is. Why not do the easier formula? To me, it doesn't make any sense to do the second formula when it's so easy to do this one. Okay. There's other examples in the book. Take a look at them. Okay. Remember, E is the base for natural exponential growth. It's an irrational number. It's approximately 2.71828. It keeps going. Then the amount you get for interest, we use PERT a lot. Okay, when you are taking senior economics, you're going to learn rule of 70 or 72. So that's something you could come back to next year and say, Mr. Dangler, we learned PERT in algebra 2. It's easy. We could do this. All right, give it a try.